This is gonna make some people mad, but I don't really care. It's okay to miss when your boyfriend paid half your rent or split bills with you. I feel like the financial side of a breakup is something that nobody really ever talks about because it's kind of taboo, right? It's like you don't want people to think that that's the only reason you dated them because they gave you some financial security. At the end of the day, financial security is everything. And if you felt that freedom of having your ex, you know, paying half your rent or splitting utilities or a car payment, you know, you get what I mean, and then suddenly not having it anymore, that's very real, and you should not feel ashamed about it. Because you know in your heart, like, that's not the reason you dated them. Well, maybe it is, I don't know. It's okay to mourn that time when you were able to breathe a little bit easier because you weren't having an anxiety attack every time your phone pings and you have a new bill coming up. So if this is you, just know that I see you and I feel you. And it's hard because you're heartbroken, but you're also broke at the same time. It's like one day you go from splitting bills and then the next day you're crying on your bathroom floor wondering if you're gonna have enough money to eat this month. Obviously I'm being dramatic, but you get the point. So if this is you, drop a money emoji and maybe comment something that was an unexpected expense after your breakup, because it's nice to know that we're not alone in this.
I didn't see this coming. Y'all ready?
I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. I be out this bitch putting regular gas in the car. I don't get it. I used to be financially okay, and now I'm separated, going through a divorce, raising these kids by myself. I just don't get it. And to wait 5 days, my daughter got to have surgery on Wednesday. I don't know. I can't get I got to rent a car for 2 days to get the kids to school. I don't know what I'm going to do. Please, Mercedes, just something.
She is looking for Mercedes to send her groceries to give her a pass. Coming on, making a video. If anything, talk to your relatives. Talk to old friends. Talk to old classmates. Reach out to anybody but Mercedes-Benz. They don't care. They got your car and you tell them that you can't pay. They'll say, okay, we'll keep your car. But for you to be on food stamps driving a Mercedes-Benz, you sell the car. Sell your Mercedes-Benz. Go get a Ford Focus. Sell your Mercedes-Benz. That's the key. Sell your Mercedes-Benz. No need to be driving a Mercedes-Benz.
So what kind of car should someone on food stamps have? What kind of car? Because this confuses me. So because somebody got a Benz, they shouldn't lose their job or everything's supposed to be perfect because somebody got a Benz? Like, I'm confused by that.
Why do divorced women struggle on just one income? 1 in 5 women become impoverished because of divorce. Women also see a 20% decline in their income with divorce, while men generally see a 30% increase in their income post-divorce. Why is it that this happens to women post-divorce? Have increased financial responsibility, house payment, utilities, groceries, childcare, education, healthcare. There's the legal expenses of divorce. You have attorney fees. You're going to most likely incur some debt because of splitting up assets. You may be getting paid child support. You may be getting paid alimony. A lot of times that's not enough to cover the gap between your paycheck and all your expenses. And if you're like me, I'm the one paying alimony, not him. Like, what happens in a medical emergency? You have an appliance that needs repaired. You have a car that needs repaired. Well, you're already trying to stretch your dollar further than it will go. So we're not prepared for an emergency either. Literally set up for failure because the cost of living is so high right now. Single moms are really struggling to make ends meet on one income because everything is so damn expensive.
I know I'm not the only one out there struggling. Lost my hand 11 years ago in a horse accident, divorced after 20 years. Been struggling financially, of course, because I was a stay-at-home mom. Didn't have a career to fall back on. Struggling with finances, just trying to pay your bills monthly.
Okay guys, so with this whole divorce thing, I'm literally like in so much debt, like I'm even ashamed to say how much debt I'm in, but I will go into further detail when I can. But basically with the whole divorce, I think at least $49,000 in debt, and that's from using up my own $36,000 cash savings that I had in my savings account. So after all that money was depleted, literally $49,000 plus in debt within the past 2 years. So if anyone has $49,000 to help a girl out, yes, by all means, you know, go ahead and do it. But no, seriously, people don't talk about the financial strain of going through a divorce. Especially when you're on the other end, when you're not the one that's going to be gaining after the divorce is finalized. But yeah, I'm in a lot of debt, and I'll go into more detail, not today, but you know, I'll show some screenshots afterwards, and you guys will understand the kind of constraint that going through a divorce has on an individual. And don't get me wrong, I have a really good job, but the expenses that accrued within the past 2 years versus how much I was making is like this. And of course, you know, it got to a point where I was telling my kids, oh, mommy doesn't have money, because, you know, I still wanted them to live comfortably like how they were living. And it got to a point where they were like, oh, well, mommy doesn't have money, we're poor. And I was like, no, we rebuke that in the name of Jesus. Right now, we're not able to make ends meet like how we would like. But you know, there's a certain way I want my kids to grow up, and I'm trying, but I'm realizing that no, it's not the same lifestyle that they used to live. I'm trying to make sure that it's similar, but at the end of the day, mommy is in a bind, and it's probably gonna take me a good 2 to 5 years to rebuild what I've lost. But yeah, we are not giving up, and we will continue to, you know, keep building. So that's one of the reasons why, besides trying to help other people that are going through this whole situation, divorce situation, is also to see if I could make it on this TikTok affiliate program, you know, try to see where this whole thing will land us. But honestly, I feel like people are making it work on TikTok, so why can't I? Right? Why can't I? Like, there's enough room for everyone to get a little bit of the money and on TikTok. But divorce takes a toll. It really, really does.
Who initiated the divorce?
I initiated the divorce.
What was the reason?
Okay, we were young and we didn't communicate well. And really for me, if I'm honest, it's that he was emotionally disconnected. I felt alone in the marriage. I tried really hard to find ways to get through to him, and I couldn't. And so eventually I checked out and became very resentful and angry.
Shared custody?
Shared custody.
50-50?
Yeah, I'm really close to my dad, so I didn't want to deny him that.
Was he paying you child support?
Yes. Yes. And I did get child support all the way through until my kids went to college. But it really didn't amount to that much.
Just curious, how much was he paying you?
At the beginning, I think I probably got around $6,000 a month in like child support and alimony. But this is a man who made a lot of money. He was paying me, I just remembered. So I got about $2,500 a month for child support and about $5,000 a month for alimony. Maybe it sounds like no money to you, or maybe it sounds like a lot, but relative to what my ex-husband made, I really got very little money, and it was never enough to feel remotely comfortable. So I wish I had fought a little harder.
A lot of people don't know this about me because I don't really share it, but I actually filed bankruptcy. When I got divorced the first time, we had a lot of debt, and all of that debt was in my name. And even though that the divorce decree stated that the debt was split 50-50, because all of the debt was in my name, when my husband at the time walked out of divorce court, he walked into bankruptcy court, filed bankruptcy, and all that debt came back to me. And it was overwhelming. And it was so overwhelming that I wouldn't open the mail. I wouldn't look at the bills. I couldn't pay my electric bill. They cut off my electricity. I couldn't pay my phone bill. I couldn't pay my car. They were about to repossess my car. And I filed bankruptcy. And what happened was that created like this aura of shame.
Here's how I'm recovering from my financially devastating divorce. We're talking 5 years of court, clearing out all the retirement funds in order to pay for attorneys type divorce. And I say this so other people who have gone through this can hear. And it was also followed by a move across 2 states, which also costs money. So I moved into a home that I am renting out part of to help ease the cost of living. Check my posts on renting to travel nurses. I also moved to a less expensive area. I searched and negotiated hard for a job that would pay me as much as I could possibly get in this area. I'm also not loyal to them. I will leave them if I'm able to find something that pays better. And I am working my ass off on my side hustles in order to bring in extra income, which right now is in the form of building an email list for affiliate marketing. I'm also working on my own product to release later this year to a targeted group of people. It's going to be a slow recovery, but I'm going to be better than before.
A lot of women think it's a cakewalk. Think that they're just going to ride off into the sunset, which is what y'all be trying to do. You're trying to take a man for everything that he has. And then when your decision backfires, which could be for a lot of reasons, but you hear a lot of women on here talking about, oh, I'm so happy, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. But then you forget, wait a minute, you need to take some responsibility, financial responsibility as well. And y'all like one woman said, take alimony, take child support, live lavish, which is why a lot of modern women are trying to go and get an athlete, because I want to live lavish. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody has, I guess, the position to do that or the beauty to do that. If we're trying to live the lifestyle, this is what it looks like.
I didn't see this coming. Y'all ready?
I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. I be out this bitch putting regular gas in the car. I don't get it. I used to be financially okay. And now I'm separated, going through a divorce, raising these kids by myself. I just don't get it. And to wait 5 days, my daughter got to have surgery on Wednesday. I don't know. I can't get I got to rent a car for 2 days to get the kids to school. I don't know what I'm going to do, y'all. Please, Mercedes, just something.
She is looking for Mercedes to send her groceries, to give her a pass. Coming on, making a video. If anything, talk to your relatives. Talk to old friends. Talk to old classmates. Reach out to anybody but Mercedes-Benz. They don't care. They got your car and you tell them that you can't pay. They'll say, okay, we'll keep your car. But for you to be on food stamps driving a Mercedes-Benz, you sell the car. Sell your Mercedes-Benz. Go get a Ford Focus. Sell your Mercedes-Benz. That's the key. Sell your Mercedes-Benz. No need to be driving a Mercedes-Benz.
So what kind of car should someone on food stamps have? What kind of car? Because this confuses me. So because somebody got a Benz, they shouldn't lose their job or everything's supposed to be perfect because somebody got a Benz? Like, I'm confused by that.
Women, the divorce system is sometimes very expensive to get the relief that you're entitled to. The barriers to entry into getting that award is very challenging. And I think post-divorce, my observation has been a divorced man, his prospects for future relationships are better.
Yeah.
I think and again, this is not an indictment of, believe me, I'm sure that there are exceptions to this like there are to everything. But by and large, women, in my observation of many, 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 many clients, divorced men have a much bigger menu of options. Like there's, a guy gets divorced in his early 40s and he's got a couple of kids. He can usually get women in their 20s and their 30s because they'll look at it and go, oh, instant family, just add me. Like, great. Like, I'll be a step parent and, I'll get involved in this. Maybe we'll have our own kids too. But even if we don't, I'll get to have something quasi-parental. And by the way, there will also be divorced women who hey, our lives are similar. We have co-parents. We have these things. Let's get together and let's get married and Brady Bunch it, Women, I think, get a shorter end of the stick on that. I think that there are a lot of men who see a woman who's divorced, even a young, beautiful, intelligent, articulate woman who's divorced through no fault of her own, perhaps. Maybe she made a bad choice and this was not a good person for her or for her children. And a lot of men will look at it and go, it's got baggage. I don't want to deal with that. And I don't want what comes with that. Again, many men step up in that situation. And I think I've had the amazing experience of watching some men step up, where I've had these young female clients and they get divorced and they're just convinced their life is over. They're like, I'm 34 years old. I got 2 kids and I'm divorced, And then some guy, very often like unexpected, like a young guy with no kids who's never been married, steps in and is like a hero. And a couple of years later, I'm going to their wedding, and a few of them, I have one couple in particular I'm thinking of. She's had the greatest post-divorce life and greatest post-divorce marriage I've ever seen. And now they have a baby together, the two of them. And this guy really stepped in to be a step parent for her kids in a beautiful way. And, it's amazing. But I think as a general rule, my observation has been divorce is hard on men and hard on women in just different ways.
Yeah, definitely. James, it has been such a joy talking to you today. And I feel like I'm learning so much. And just what's really incredible talking to you about it is that you really do have this rare ability to go from being really logical and rational about something to then being really emotional and emotive about it. And it's
try being this
yeah,
person.
and it's really beautiful to watch. I really appreciate how you can oscillate between the two quite comfortably and gracefully, and it's really powerful. Just taking it all in, and again, the reminders are powerful yet simple, and that's a wonderful thing, because it's that with which we're stumbling.
Yeah.
And those are the same things we're all stumbling over. And so.
And it's a wonderful commonality for us.
Yeah. It's a
really
wonderful
part of our humanity.
It's great to know that that's what it is, that it wasn't some big thing that you didn't become, or that you didn't become successful, or that you didn't, something that was so far away, and that it was right there.
Right. And the peace we're all looking for may not be so far away.
Yeah.
The questions we need to ask may not be so complicated.
Yeah.
And the things we need to do to sustain or repair our relationships, they may not be that inaccessible.
Here's the number one reason why women suffer financially after divorce, and it's not what you think. If you are a woman going through divorce, your income is likely to drop by about 30% in the year following your divorce, and it'll take you about 6 years to get back to your pre-divorce income. Whereas for men, incomes typically stay the same or go up following divorce. Why the difference? Remember, we're not talking about expendable income here, so it's not explained by you no longer have the benefit of an ex-husband's income. What we're talking about is a woman's actual earnings, and the reason why this goes down for a woman post-divorce and stays the same or goes up for a man, kids. It is all about kids and childcare. Women take on a disproportionate amount of childcare duties following divorce. Men take on less. Particularly for women who are earning an hourly wage, you're going to be able to work less hours, your income's going to go down. Whereas for men, less childcare duties, increased earnings. So this is reason 1 of 573 why we need universal childcare.
I mean, women don't work as much as men in the first place. And a man after divorce is probably going to have to work more. So, we're talking about, his income jumps while hers decreases because she has to spend on this, she has to spend on that. Well, if a man has to work more, then he's probably got more bills as well. So that's kind of like the net on that. I have to work more. I think there was one man, a judge, took he was working overtime, and the judge took his overtime and calculated it and factored it in and said, this is now your new level of child support. This is what you need to be paying. And the guy was like, I'm working overtime so that I can pay child support and then afford all my other expenses. That's literally why I'm working overtime. Well, now you're locked into overtime, which is working more than a regular job. So now you have to burn yourself out.
I left my husband 5 months ago and I regret it. No, you're not supposed to say that. I know I'm supposed to be in my living my best life, hoe era, whatever, but no. His last 5 months have broken my spirit. They have been the hardest of my life. His last 5 months have required so much work, so much discipline to get back to myself. But it's supposed to suck. I talked to my friend last night about this on the phone, and he really put it in perspective for me. Said the year you get a divorce was going to suck regardless. I questioned my decisions constantly. No matter what choice I made, I would have been miserable regardless. Life is not supposed to be happy and perfect all the time. Most growth comes from the times when we are having to do the work, having to sit in our misery, having to sit in the quiet. And that is exactly what I'm doing. 31 and I feel like I'm 18 again, trying to navigate the world. Because you know what I regret more than leaving my husband? But having to get to that point anyway. I regret marrying the wrong person in the first place and not listening to my intuition. From my mistakes. So that you can learn from me being a dumbass. Because I feel dumb all the time. Of course, it's normal to have regret. I regret so many things in my life, but I can't let it ruin my life either. Never learn from things going right. We learn from them going wrong, and I'm holding on to that. I regret that I had to get to that point. I didn't want it to, but it happened, and we move on.
Nothing. I am recently divorced, mom of 2, and I just feel like I'm extremely behind financially, and I just was looking for tips and advice on how I get out of my situation that I'm in currently.
What is his income, your ex-husband's?
He makes about $45 an hour, but I do not take anything from him.
What do you make?
6 months. I currently make $18 an hour, and I'm a personal trainer, but I am only training for like 6 to 8 hours a week.
I think we found your problem.
Yeah, no, I know. I've been applying to jobs left and right. It's just I cannot seem to find one right now. Yes, I know my issue is I don't have enough income. That's something that I'm working on, but I didn't know. I don't know. I just don't know what to do.
Are you only applying to be a personal trainer?
No, I'm applying for all sorts of different positions. Okay. State positions, city positions, random places, in town. I'm applying all over the place.
Okay.
It's just, yeah.
Why isn't he paying child support?
I was the one that wanted the divorce, and I just...
Doesn't matter. State law says he pays child support.
Yeah.
I know. I just didn't want anything ahead of the rest of my life, and I figured that I could do it on my own, and I want to be able to do it. I know that it was probably dumb looking at it now, but I think that when I am finally successful and I am out of my position that I'm in currently...
When was the divorce final?
July of this year.
How have you lived since July on 8 hours a week?
I take shifts at the restaurant that I worked at. I work there, but I'm not scheduled. I just take shifts as they come. He works long hours, and we split the kids 50-50. But unfortunately, with his work schedule, I have been the one that has had to take the kids on the nights that he has to work late. So me getting a full-time job for the longest time was out of the question because our babysitter actually got shut down for a little while because she wasn't properly licensed. And so, yeah, I have just been living on tax return.
So we're talking about, so we're talking about, here's the thing. We're talking about what he's not doing. She's not working. I'm only training 8 hours a week. Most people work for 40. Bare minimum. That's what modern women are doing. They're taking a break. They're slacking. While a man has to go out there and work. Oh man, I was a stay-at-home mom. I was this, I was that, I was doing this, I was doing that. He's working. She's working 8 hours, Dave. Unless I heard that wrong. She's working 8 hours. The average, according to statistics, the average full-time personal trainer is working 35 to 45 hours a week. New trainers often start at 20 to 30 hours per week to avoid burnout. Peak hours are mornings, early morning 6 a to 9 a and 4 p to 7 p. She's working 8 hours a week. They're working 35 to 40 a week. Can you see the disparity there? She's taking it easy. I want the divorce. She was taking it easy in the marriage. She wasn't really working a lot. Dave, John. But it's his problem. Well, he's making $45 an hour this thing. So basically you decide to leave and I got to cover your leaving. And you're not working. All right.
Gray divorce can cut a woman's income nearly in half. That's the financial reality many women don't hear about when people talk about peace and freedom after divorce. Research shows that after divorce, a woman's standard of living often drops 25 to 40%. Why? Well, because retirement savings get divided, one household suddenly becomes two, and many women spend years prioritizing family or working part-time. Now, none of that means divorce is wrong. It does mean that the decision deserves a clear eye and honest conversations. If finances are one of the reasons you felt stuck, comment the word real.
What do you think men expect when they are getting divorced and they, come into our office first?
When we're talking with men who are the primary income earners and they're making a lot of money, they're exasperated and flabbergasted when we tell them how much child and or spousal support that they're going to be responsible for. And understandably so, it's sticker shock, right? But one of our jobs is to explain to them what the law is and why we think that they should be paying that rather than going to court when a judge is going to agree. So you might as well save your money and enter into something that's reasonable as seen by the law.
So why is it that women are more likely than men to struggle financially after divorce? This person says it's a responsibility and spending problem, not a resource problem. And this is simply not the case. Women are more likely to have made career sacrifices for the family. They are more likely to have been out of the workforce for a long time. Whereas it's very unusual for a man to have made career sacrifices and worked part-time or stayed at home. And those sacrifices do continue to hurt women after divorce. And this is why I very regularly post and am vocal about how important it is for a woman to have an education and to keep licenses current. And even if she stays at home, to do volunteer work or do something part-time to have some experience, because you never know what life is going to throw at you. I believe that a woman should always be in the position where she can take care of herself and the children if she needs to, and not just for divorce.
They're not getting it. The career sacrifice is him working more. It's him working more. That's the that's the sacrifice. Well, you get to work all the time. I get to work all the time? You mean to tell me I get to be up there 12, 15 hours a day working? Oh, lucky me.
Should not be taken to the cleaners when they get divorced. I totally disagree with that. I hear women saying, yeah, I'm going to take him for everything he has. I'm going to wipe him clean. You know what the problem is with that? That you don't realize that if you have kids together and you leave him somewhat bankrupt, he's not going to be a happy dad. And a happy dad is not going to have happy kids. He needs his money in order to live also, and in order to be able to spend it on his kids as much as you do. So when you're wiping him clean, you're also affecting, your kids' lives. And I hear this all the time about women. Yeah, he divorced me. I'm going to take him for everything he has. I'm going to wipe him clean. I don't care. You should care, because your kids' lives are at stake also. When you take everything from him, I'm not defending men, but I'm just saying men because, every situation is different. But what I'm saying is that it's not right. It's not right for men to lose everything in a divorce that they've worked for hard. Yes, should the mom get some? Yes, of course, she should get alimony, she should get child support, and, if there's a house or car, it should be split evenly, but not where you leave the guy, totally, bankrupt and with nothing.
I heard someone say that they felt like their divorce wasn't worth it because they're still struggling financially. This is a reality for so many women. And me and my son were talking about this the other day, because I said, look, the things that I was able to do post-divorce, the way that I was able to rebuild my financial landscape, to go from not having a career and being a stay-at-home mom and being out of the workforce pretty much since college, and then to turn around and have 3 kids working at Starbucks, to be able to go from where I was to where I wanted to be was it's not normal. And the mantra that I used throughout that time was money before men. And every single opportunity that I had to make money, I was on it. And I truly believed that any money that I was making was worthy of my bank account. And I was so focused on rebuilding my financial landscape. That meant having an emergency fund of 6 months. I'm currently rebuilding that right now. My dad passed away, and I lived off my emergency fund for several months while I was just recovering. I then started to put money into a 401k. As my income increased, I didn't increase my level of living. I made a lot of sacrifices that I know a lot of people weren't willing to make. However, the thing that I had going for me was I learned how to sell shit. And because I learned how to sell shit, I could exponentially increase my income because I couldn't increase the amount of time that I was working. And so for me, going down the sales track was the best way for me to actually recuperate post-divorce. Whatever you do, it's money before men. Get in the car, let's go.
Why are most women broke within 5 years of their divorce case? Number one, because they continue to feel like they're the person that needs to hold the stability of the family together no matter what. Number two, because they tend to acquiesce to their spouse's demands for lower child support and lower spousal support. And number three, they tend to give up major assets, give up everything at all costs just to keep the marital residence, even if they know they really can't afford it.
Everybody always talk about building wealth and wealth killers.
Mm-hmm.
They always talk about overspending or a bunch of other things. But in my opinion, this was just from what I've seen. the number one killer of wealth for real is divorce.
Absolutely. I told you. Like I said, what I'm making now, I wasn't making that. I filed for divorce. Those last 2 years, I realized I was about to lose half of everything. I had to double my hustle. If I'm about to lose half of everything, you know,
so that's
everything. It don't matter if you've been married for look. And the sad thing about my situation is I got married, cost me maybe $500 to get married. I ain't even had no nice wedding. It was in my backyard. Lost half of everything. Everything.
Like, bro, I've been saying this so many times with people, and I be like, I see why there's so many men. Not to say I agree with it, but I see there's a lot of men today that's like, I ain't getting married. I ain't never getting married because of that.
Yeah, everybody deserves somebody ultimately, you know, but the most dangerous people in this world, man or woman, with no financial literacy, that will destroy you. You just see it, Amazon packages, Target receipts, all these everybody eating crab boils every day. You wondering where all your money, you can't reinvest. All your money is gone.
My hot take is that men shouldn't be allowed to sit because it's truly an epidemic that every time I go on the transit, it's full train. Majority of the people sitting are men. Like, as long as there's a gender pay gap, women should not be standing on public transit. That's crazy to me. Like, yesterday I was on the path and like a really old man, there was like one empty seat, and I saw him and I was like, please sit. And he's like, no, it's okay, like, you sit. And I was like, no, please sit down, like, you're obviously unwell. And look around, every other seat is taken by like young, able-bodied men, and all the women are standing. There was someone that was pregnant that was standing. I'm sorry, that's ridiculous. And I won't rest until men aren't allowed to sit.
Guys, you're not allowed to sit. You've committed the absolute felony of sitting. Oh! First of all, the gender pay gap is fake, honey. I don't know what feminist studies course you took that lied to you, but it's fake. The reason that men make more money is oftentimes because they're putting in more hours, because they don't take things like maternity leave, because they work harder, they invest more in time, they choose jobs that are more well-paying than, you know, say a job, let's do an engineer versus a teacher as an example. These things exist because there is a gender gap in terms of decisions that women and men make that is different. Stop swallowing the talking points and sounding. Two, I love this because you see video after video after video now of women complaining that men aren't being gentlemen. And I'm going to make video after video after video where I remind them that they're not being gentlemen because you told them not to be a gentleman because you found it offensive at the time. And now all of a sudden you want them to be a gentleman again because you snapped your fingers like this, and they are not a dog. It's not Pavlov's dog, honey. You will generally find that guys in cities aren't raised with as much of that gentlemanly tendency as guys, the country boys, right? However, there's also, again, these guys are so tired. They're like, oh, if I offer her a seat, she's going to roll her eyes at me and be like, why did you, offer me this seat when I am perfectly capable of standing just like you? I'm just as strong as you. I'm going to get a lecture about that. If I don't offer the seat, they're just tired. So they're just sitting down. That's a lot of that is happening too. What is my advice to you guys? Listen, be a gentleman, but don't overextend yourself for women, right? So when it comes to, if there's a pregnant woman on a subway, or if there's this, you have to get in touch with your masculinity such that you do the right thing in circumstances like that.
Caught up with an old friend.
So this is your Hinge date tonight, guys.
Recently, I caught up with an old friend, and she was telling me that she got divorced. And I was so surprised because her and her husband were such a cute couple, and they had been together for 11 years. So I asked her, what happened? I figured something bad happened. She's like, honestly, I was just bored. My husband, all he did was work. I was a stay-at-home mom. We had 3 kids, and I just...
Oh, it's her friend.
Got lonely and bored. And she says that when she would bring it up, he would take her out, but it was just boring to her. She needed some excitement in her life. She just felt like she was just a mom and a wife, and her husband just wasn't doing that for her. And she had other friends that had, boyfriends, or they had just got married, and they were always going out, always going on vacation, always partying, going to the club, going to the bar, hanging out with friends, and they did none of that. And when she would bring it up to her husband would always tell her, I gotta work, they had a big house, they had nice things, he was just trying to work. So they ended up getting divorced, and now, she's single, she lives alone, she's working, and she's dating. So then I told her, oh, well, that must be exciting, dating and stuff. And she's like, no, I fucking hate it. And I was like, why? And she's like, because all they want to do is just have fun.
We can't win.
They just want to go to the club. They just want to go to the bar. They just want to hang out, have a good time. And then that's it. She said, no one wants to help me out. Like, I'm trying to find someone that's going to help take care of my kids. She's like, I just want someone to be a provider, not just a good time. So I was all like, well, wasn't that what your husband was doing? And she's like, I know. And I guess now her ex-husband is dating someone, like, seriously. They have been divorced for a total of 3 years, and he has been dating this girl for 2 years. She has 2 kids, and they're already living together. She says that he's fully taking care of her. Like, the girl doesn't work. She's a stay-at-home mom. They haven't had any new kids, but they're planning on having kids. And she's pissed because she's like, how can he move on so fast? Like, you know, I can't even find nobody, and he just found someone so quick.
Yep. That's called the post-divorce humble, right? This is what happens. So women, they meet their husbands at like 20, right? Let's say 25, whatever the hell you met your first, you know, it's college, high school, whatever, early 20s. And the thing is, when they met their husband, he's a 4, right? Or he's like a 5. And like the girl's like a 6. She gave this 4 or 5 a chance. Looks wise, let's say. And like overall charisma. Cause you know, the older you guys get, just the better. You guys just age well. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you guys might get a couple more pounds, a few more wrinkles, but you can't, like, there's just nothing like a seasoned man, let's say. Okay. So what the wife doesn't realize is that you guys are getting better every year. Every year, you make more money, you become more assertive, you get better at telling women to shut the fuck up. And so what the wives don't realize is they still see you as a 4, but then the guys get to be like a 7 and she's a 5. And do you know who the guy dates next? Between a 6 and an 8, depending on how good looking. 10 years younger than you. I knew someone else. He married a woman around his age, and they recently got divorced, and he's like 37, 38. And he's a really successful, he works in media too, so he's a really successful like commentator, I'll say. And I'll tell you, his ex-wife is pissed because his new girlfriend is hot. I met her and I was like, holy, he's dating this like model. Well, like she looks like a model. And I was like, and that's what happens is they move on. They're like, I can do better. It turns out we can't do better, but do you know who can? Him. And it's worse because the men are so much more humble because they don't even know they can do better. Like men don't really get attention like that, right? So they go around the world. Most guys don't know how good looking they are, right? Because like women can find you attractive, but still not want to, like you're still a wouldn't to them, but they still find you attractive. Men, every girl that they find even slightly attractive is a would. So like, it's not really the same, but so men don't really know how many women they're attractive to, right? Where women think they're more attractive than they are because the men are like, you know, they all would, you know what I mean?
And he didn't even want to give us another try, like blah, blah, blah. And I was so confused because I was like, okay, so you divorced him because he was always working and you were bored. So now you're single, going out, having a good time, dating, but you don't like that. Now you want someone to take care of you, a provider. And your ex-husband, all he wanted to do was be a provider. That's why now he is dating someone who he has no problem providing for her and her kids. And she's pissed because she's like, why would he go and find someone who has kids? Like, he already has kids. Why would he want to take on that responsibility? And I'm like, wait, aren't you looking for someone to take on that responsibility? I was just giving her a hard time, not gonna lie, because it was kind of funny to me because I was like, I could tell that she regretted her decision. I could tell. And I've seen a lot of people do shit like this where they get divorced for reasons that are not, I'm not gonna say they're not valid because everybody's feelings are valid.
And you listen, a lot of these women, they think they have it in the bag. That's why they act like that. They think, oh yeah, I'm going to be great. I'm going to be set for life. You know, it's worth it. And really, because a lot of modern women have a one-track mind, they can't see a whole lot, right? I should say they have a limited mindset. They can't see what's happening around them. Then they make these types of errors. And when they get out of it, they're like, oh shoot, this is actually not that great of an idea. And now you have to live with it. They think they have endless options, especially the ones getting out of divorce or getting out of a marriage around 30, right? Well, I had to rebuild. Well, guess how long it's going to take you to rebuild? About a few years. So 33, right? And then you're coming out of the divorce with kids. You got 2. So it's going to take you 2-3 years to rebuild. You say 30, you get to 33, 34, and now you have 2 kids. And you're getting back on the dating market talking about, I deserve better. I'm not going back to what I had, so on and so forth. And really what you need to be doing is like, okay, I want to be married again, but I don't want to rush it. How do I get what I want? What am I looking for? Looking for a good man and that likes kids. Okay, which, slim pickings here. But there are some guys out there that don't mind it. I'm divorced, which once again, that's another knock against you. But once again, some men don't mind that. What you got to do is show them without having to beg or without, being desperate, because it's possible. I'm worth it. I don't bring a lot of problems. I know how to train my kids. I know how to keep my kids in check. My life is in check. This is what I can bring to you, right? All you're really trying to do as a woman is control for the outliers. Kids and divorce are huge outliers, and you're just trying to control for him because he's going to ask. He's going to be observing. And if you say, well, I have this taken care of, and you're showing that you're competent at it, then the kids and the divorce kind of become a thing on the side. They have to be dealt with because it's still a thing, but it's not such a big deal. And the man says, okay, looks like whatever happened between the divorce, she's learned and she's actually better now. Okay, so let's move forward. How are we going to raise the kids? Well, it's a little bit of this, it's a little bit of that, but I am looking for a man to step in. He doesn't necessarily need to be the father, because I do try to co-parent with their dad. I try to do that, but I would just want him to be a man in the house, just a man in the house, right? That's about it. Just a man of the house. He's going to be leading me, and when my kids are there, he's going to be leading my kids, and what he says in the house goes. Right now, obviously, I'm not looking for a man that is power hungry and tries to do weird things. I'm definitely not looking for that. But he is the leader of the relationship, and he has to be comfortable leading me. And like I said, when my kids are there, leading my kids, leading all of us and helping us to stay together as a unit. So that's kind of some of the things that I'm looking for. And so it empowers a man, and it helps him to understand, okay, well, maybe there's something to that.
You know what? I'm real embarrassed to say this, but every single day when I'm driving from one job to the other, I just think to myself, wow, you're so pathetic. You've been married twice, you're a 2-time divorcee, and not once out of either of those times did you marry for money. What an idiot. What an idiot. I mean, yeah, sure, the first one, the kids are cool, but it'd be way cooler if we were just sitting on the side of some exotic island swimming with some cute pigs. In one hand, I've got a drink with an umbrella, and the other, I'm just waving it around like I just don't care. Huh? Not once could you marry for money. My God, get it together.
It's tough because our biology is saying we can't reproduce with average men, and that's going on in the background. All right, what up, guys? Welcome to my reaction series. So sometimes in life, women make decisions and they're bad. That's pretty much all of them. And today we are gonna watch women talk about regretting their divorce. A lot of men get divorced and they think, why would she do this to me? And they take it very personally. But women aren't happy with anything, not with each other, not with ourselves. We're just unhappy people. So if you can't make a woman happy, welcome to the club. Nobody can. So women are now going to talk about their bad choices of divorcing their husbands and their regrets.
So I'm ordering old fashioned, sturdy martinis and these bars. Then we're going out to steak dinners with my coworkers and we're ordering expensive bottles of wine. And I'm showing up at home wasted. And I start resenting my husband because he's just like any normal husband probably would do. Like, what are you doing coming home on a Tuesday night at 10:30, drunk out of your mind.
She used to be really hot.
It's funny to post how I'm feeling because, wow, the highs are great, but the lows are really low. In 1 month since I moved into my apartment, and this is my second week on my job, now that things are quiet, I'm finding myself reflecting a lot. It just feels so painfully uncomfortable. Of course, I'm questioning everything. I'm really trying to force myself to remember how bad things were and how bad things got repeatedly for me to get to this point. I think I'm just having a really hard time being back at square one. I'm not cry. I cannot afford to buy more eyelash serum right now. Being a wife, being in a relationship, it feels so natural to me. Like putting myself out there, being single, dating, doesn't at all. That I think I thought moving to my hometown would be really good for me recovery wise, but I'm just finding it's not. Really thought I would have family support moving here and finding that that's not the case. It's been a really tough pill to swallow to realize I'm kind of on an island. I know so many people would die at the opportunity to have no strings attached and travel and start over and date a bunch of people, but that's just not my personality. I'm $10,000 in debt from all of this. Like, I don't know where people are just getting money to do all this stuff. I have 2 dogs that are quite literally the only things making me feel sane right now. Point, I'm just really questioning, like, if I'm ever meant to have, like, a normal, happy life, which maybe sounds dramatic. I just feel like the things that come really natural to other people are just so hard for me. I feel like I'm not asking that much. Like, I just want a normal life. I want to have kids, want to be married, and it just feels like that's not in the cards for me. It's just really interesting because I feel like the swings of emotion with this have been so drastic. Days like today where I feel dead inside, like I'm crying all the time on TikTok and now my eyes are just like dead again. Multiple people in my life have told me I'm icy and I'm just like, literally, what do you want me to fucking say to that? If you're feeling like me at any point, I just encourage you to go through my divorce playlist and look at any of the comments from people. I'm doing that on a regular basis and you guys have helped me so much. I don't know, I just want to be honest today because, again, like a few days ago I was feeling pretty good. Today I feel horrible.
Yeah, so she realized she had it good and she threw it all away. Now, she's not going to say that she was wrong, even though she was. So, consequences. You make choices, you gotta deal with the consequences. What are you gonna do? So, then this happens. Yeah, she promotes divorce. That's the next step. It's easier at the time to bring everybody down with her rather than look at what she's doing and take some responsibility and actually improve herself so she doesn't get herself in this kind of condition again. I'm going to show you another video.
So I'm ordering old fashioned dirty martinis and these bars. Then we're going out to steak dinners with my coworkers and we're ordering expensive bottles of wine and I'm showing up at home wasted. And I start resenting my husband because he's just like any normal husband probably would do. Like, what are you doing coming home on a Tuesday night at 10:30 drunk out of your mind? Like, where were you? And so I realized then that I couldn't be married anymore. I was like, this is not going to work out for me because, and again, I'm spinning the truth. I'm telling my family, he's so controlling. I got to get out of this relationship. I mean, he's insecure. It's just, I'm just saying whatever I need to make my family be like, I mean, that doesn't sound anything like him, but like, I guess, yeah, if you're unhappy, go for it. Not go for it. Obviously, my family wasn't like, yeah, get divorced. But I mean, they were like, if it's going to make you happy, like, I guess you have to do what's going to make you happy.
And they don't know the real reason why. Yeah.
My mom will still say to this day, she watches my TikToks and she's like, I didn't know that you were hiding all this drinking from your ex, like my ex. And I was like, yeah, I know you didn't because I did whatever I could to make you not know. And my ex-husband would not tell my parents because he knew that would just piss me off. Yeah. So he protected me in a sense, which beginning of December. And I get home and I'm like, I'm moving out. And he's just like, what? And I'm like, yep, I don't want to be married anymore. I want freedom. I feel like you're controlling me. You are always wondering where I am. Just like, yeah, of course he is. But I couldn't It didn't make sense to me. And I'm experiencing this life of going out and not being tied down to anyone. And I'm like, this is what I missed all throughout my 20s, because I was in a serious relationship from the moment I got out of college to now, and I'm 30 years old. And so I just didn't, so again, I'm justifying. I'm like, I just need a couple years of going out in New York, get it out of my system. I just need it out of my system. It's just all pent up, and I definitely don't have a problem. It's just me needing to live life a little bit. So I move out. That divorce was heartbreaking for him. And for me, but I didn't experience the heartbreak until after I got sober, because I drank through it all.
And that's exactly it. And your family sounds like they have a good head on their shoulders for them to say, that doesn't really sound like the son-in-law we've gotten to know. That's really weird. But, you know, I guess that's exactly it. A lot of these modern women and men have caught on. They're lying about what they're going through. And that's why men don't want to take care of these things. That's why they don't want to be with women, because they know anytime you get a chance, you're going to be lying. You're going to lie about what you went through. It's going to be all of the man's fault. Why even try?